What's good, y'all? It's your boy. I'm not even taking it out.
Do that one more time. Do that.
Oh, that was funny. I'm dying.
They're pop locking and dropping already. What the heck is happening?
I'm leaving it in. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again, joined by the pettiest man alive. We got a jam-packed show for y'all today, doing a pre-record because we do got a Bulls game tonight, and it's going to be so much content coming out, but still wanted to be able to get the daily show out to you guys as always. Justin Fields is back. Nate Davis also set to return, so we're going to talk about what that means, and the Zach Lavine situation just continues to get worse.
Yeah. I told you.
I mean, every day now we're gonna have. Here's the thing. I was warning Hayes. I was like, bro, get ready, because creating content for a team that is struggling is nowhere near as fun. Like, if you're like you have high hopes and you're bad, that's different. But if you're just bad and there's also no hope, that's when the content creators are made. Hey, man, all that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's jump into the show. I'd hit the intro, but Restream been tweaking for me today. I don't know what's going on with all the they've been down for a little minute. They've been having some issues, so we'll figure that out. But Kidd, Justin Fields set to return. Nate Davis also set to return here, and there's going to be a switch. They're moving Tevin Jenkins back to left guard, putting Nate Davis where he feels comfortable, and Justin Fields is back on the field of play, ready to go. What is your expectations now from Justin Fields? Now that we know that he's going to be out there, a lot can change in 7 weeks. And the one reason I say that is because I look at one guy that's on our team. Tevin Jenkins, to start this season, every Bears fan in the world was like, well, we got to find another left guard. We got to figure out what's going on with him. He's always hurt. We can't utilize him, blah, blah, blah. Then he got out on the field and played. And everything changed. Now we're sitting here trying to figure out, hey, are we going to pay this dude? Like, I know he's hurt, but we kind of got to keep him around, right? A lot can change within 7 weeks. Starting this off now, what do you want to see from Justin Fields against the Detroit Lions here to start this off? Because they're a defense that gave up 41 points. They are beatable if you got the right line in front of them.
They are beatable. And you know what? I'm going to mirror some of the comments that J-Mac on the Chicago Bears podcast mentioned. You know, this is all about evaluating Justin Fields. For those who don't think that this is, you're lying to yourself. Like, this is all about these next 7 games, all about evaluating Justin Fields. And so what I want to see from him is, I'm not expecting wins. Wins and losses are not just solely a QB stat. We're not going to put that on Justin either. We just want to solely see him make the appropriate reads. There are some things that the rookie Tyson Bagent did that I want to see Justin do. You've said that plenty of times. I want to see if Justin's done that. Having the opportunity to sit back and view the game from that vantage point, seeing someone go out there, have some success, maybe not be a world breaker, but have some success. You see some things working well. Yeah, that's an opportunity for him to pick up something, see what he can do a little better, compare the tape, and then work on those particular things. And then you want to see him put it together. You want to see him be able to get that ball out. You want to see him make quick decisions, that be decisive and things of that nature. And then you want to see what we didn't see from Tyson Bagent. You want to see if he still has that breakaway speed to be able to create something out of nothing, because that's what ultimately is creating this conversation in the first place. So you just want to mirror some of that high-level QB play with the athleticism and just put it all together. It may not be pretty his first game back. I'm not expecting it to be. Yeah. I'm not going to kill him for throwing a pick. I want to see him taking the shots, though. Like, I'm giving him a Patrick Williams treatment now. Take the shots. Like, please just take the shots. Give me something. Like, give me something to fight for you for, you know? So take the shots, take the opportunities. That's all I want to see him do.
I'm just glad to see him getting back out there, because it means that they're willing to give him the opportunity. There's still faith, a little bit of faith in him, because, right, like there was the scenario where you could have said, listen, we got Tyson here. Tyson's playing okay. We're 2-2. We're just trying to get through this season so we can figure out what our draft capital is going to be like. We're done with the Justin Fields experiment. That's a real. We've seen coaches do that. We've seen coaches say, "I'm done with this quarterback. We're done here. We're moving forward."
Or GMs make that call. Yeah,
Justin Fields coming back in means that there is something there that they want to see if they can get on a continuous basis. What I do want Bears fans to understand is this, though: you can't have it both ways.
Yes,
right. If Justin Fields is good, You're going to have good draft. You're going to lose draft positioning with 16, right? Or with your second pick. This is now 5. It's probably going to fall to 15, 16 if he's good, because that means that the offense is scoring points. Yes, the next 4 games are tough. Your last 3 games are not. You'll finish this season with 6 wins. And this is if he's good. Finish the season 5, 6 wins, something like that, right? If Justin Fields is good, Matt Eberflus is coming back.
Yep.
You can't sit here and say fire Flus and then, you got good production out of Justin Fields.
Yep.
If Justin Fields is good. So I just want everybody to understand what the if Justin Fields is good means. I'm all for it. I want to see Justin here. And I had this thought. I was like, how long am I willing to wait for the right head coach if I've got the right quarterback? And I will ride it out until Flus unequivocally backs himself into a corner that he can't get out of to know that I have the right quarterback, because there is something to having that piece that makes your franchise go in the right direction. The Buffalo Bills went in the right direction when they got Josh Allen. Now, Josh Allen's been very up and down. It hasn't been as successful without Brian Daboll there. There's a lot of things that you can say about Josh Allen that are, I think questions I always had on Josh Allen. My thing was, what's the difference between gunslinger and can't read a defense? Yeah, about 3 or 4 shades of skin color, basically. That's pretty much the only difference that I see when
I saw that meme. Yeah, that was a good interesting meme.
It's a good meme. It's a good meme, man. What's it like? All of a sudden, he's a gunslinger. No, he's just inaccurate. He throws the football to the other team quite a bit. Well, he's trying.
And you know what? I'm happy that conversation is being had. I'm happy that that narrative is being challenged.
Yeah.
I'm happy that that's there because, again, this does help Justin in some degree, because there's a large group of people who are of that ilk that will sit there and say, well, he can't read this, he can't do that. I'm not of that ilk to say that he can't read a defense. I am saying that he is a little gun shy. And I would rather him go out there, be a little less gun shy.
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately what we want. I don't want you to be Josh Allen now. I guess I got to pick and choose which version of Josh Allen I want.
No, right? I said this to start the season, right? I said, what if we and these, based on the numbers he's already put up, this is what we're heading for, right? If he continues to play the way that he's playing, he probably won't get to 4,000 yards passing this year because of missing 4 weeks, right? But if he continues to play the way that he plays, he will be of the ilk of average quarterbacks in the NFL. What are you going to do if Justin Fields is just an average quarterback right now? Guess what? A lot of great quarterbacks started off as just average quarterbacks. They started off as guys that were out there to not screw up and could give you a couple of moments. At the end of their career, we're talking about them as some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Guess what? Peyton Manning was an average quarterback. Tom Brady in the beginning was an average quarterback.
Time I give you, Peyton was just out there slinging that pill.
Hey, Peyton was but Peyton had a bad scenario, right? So, like, what do you do if you got an average quarterback and you're just like, okay, but what if I build the rest of this team and I make this happen? I do this. Like, those are real questions, because everybody was on this mindset of like, he's either going to be Pat Mahomes or we're getting another quarterback. No. That's not how the NFL works.
I wish people stop using the 1% of the 1% as the measuring rod for QBs. Patrick Mahomes is in a league of his own. There's only 4 QBs in that air right there. That's where he already is.
Yeah.
Like people use that. It's like, please stop it. Like that's like comparing everyone to Jordan. You can't do that.
I mean, they kind of do.
Yeah, we do, but it's
they
stupid.
kind of do. Like anybody that had
other people, y'all do realize it's a top 75 greatest players. We just comparing them to one. Like, stop playing with it. Like, but so I say all that to say, like, man, we got to stop it. We got to allow this kid some opportunity. Now, here's the thing: if he's just average, and you see his peers having more success, some of them in very interesting situations as well, then you probably have to move on. Because again, being just average at that position brings up the question, do we want you as the face of our franchise? Because that's what the quarterback position is. Like, let's not make light of it. Being an NFL quarterback, a starting NFL quarterback, is a big freaking deal. Like, everything goes through you. Like, realistically, you are the team to some degree. Now, mind you, I know that's figurative, right? But like, if the Bears are winning right now, Justin Fields is getting a whole lot of pub.
Yeah.
Bears are losing right now. He's getting a whole lot of blame. Well, he's getting a lot of excuses too. So like, you want your quarterback, so you probably move off of him, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with him being average, but average gets you back up in the NFL.
Will Jacksonville move off of Trevor Lawrence, or will they give him the
probably
bread?
Won't, because Jacksonville probably won't. But just let's be honest. As up and down as Sunshine has been, he's shown them more than Justin Fields has shown the Bears.
I'll give you that. He's shown him more with the arm talent. He's also had more around him in 2 years. But what I say that because even this season, right? Sunshine is 2,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, hasn't missed a game. Justin Fields got more touchdowns and less picks, and he ain't played in 4 games.
But Jacksonville is winning.
Jacksonville is winning, right? But again, winning is a team aspect of it. Our team is missing so many key pieces that make so many key things work, right? Like on the offensive side, we could look at it and say, yes, you should be able to do these things because you have enough here. On the defensive side, we've been mad at the defense, and I haven't been as upset at the defense except for effort this season because I knew you were missing the most important piece of this defense. Like everyone's like surprised that the defense is like playing poorly, but then playing well. And I'm just like, what are y'all surprised by? Like y'all know you need a 3 technique or it doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, you talking about
it's one of those things where it's like, right, Justin Fields, the Denver game, right? The Denver game could have been a win. The Bears put up, 30 points in that game?
28.
We put up 30 points in that game?
30. Yeah.
That's enough to win a football game.
That's enough to win a football
How about
game?
we get one stop? You know what I mean? So it's like those things where I look at Trevor Lawrence where his defense gets that one stop. You know what I mean? Where I look at a lot of different quarterbacks around the NFL. I mean, heck, listen.
You know who the best quarterback for that conversation is?
Jalen Hurts.
Well, Jalen Hurts is weird. That's it. You know what?
Listen, Jalen Hurts.
I've been known as a Jalen Hurts hater. I'm not use him.
Jalen Hurts has been his highs have been high, but them lows have been low.
I was going to use Russell Wilson because you brought up Broncos.
That's good. That's good.
I'm going to use Russell Wilson for one reason. Russell Wilson has never been a 5,000 yard, 4,500 yard. I don't think he's ever thrown for 4,500 yards. Ever. He's never thrown for 4,500 yards. I'm willing to stand on that.
Might be true. I don't remember him having a season like that.
But he's never been known for that.
4,200 is his max. 4,200, 21 touchdowns, 11 picks.
I say that to say, but he's always been known as someone when the game is when you need a big play, something like that. He's been known throughout his career to make those things happen. Yeah. And so ultimately, it doesn't really boil down to him. You know, he's never had even a 35. He's never had more than 35 yards, 35 touchdowns in a season either.
Yeah. He's had it 1, 2, 3 times.
Was it? How many?
4,200 yards, 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
40. Okay.
Then he had 3,400, 35 and 7. That's 2018. I want to say he missed time that year. So and then 2017, 34 touchdowns, 11.
But if I'm not mistaken, he's never been like a top 3, top 5 QB when it comes to certain particular stats. But he's always been in that conversation where you say, "Hey, this QB gets it done. He's a really good QB." You would call him elite QB, elite QB play realistically. But it wasn't always, "Oh, he threw the most yards. Oh, he had the most touchdowns." Right? And so I don't expect.
He's never been that. He's never been that guy.
So I don't expect that for Justin. Like Justin doesn't have to be that. But he does have to show me that in critical moments, you are my guy. You are going to get this ball down the field. You can push this ball down the field.
Yeah.
And that's what we want from him there. And if you start to see that, then maybe he doesn't become just an average, QB and you see some hope. But if you can't start to string those things together, then you have to start, when you're in the position to get another QB to test that out and start that clock over before you invest multiple hundreds of millions of dollars into somebody, then you got to see what that option looks like. And that's just good business.
Well, and I think that's really the question, right? Like if you have if Justin Fields come back and over the next 7 games, you're talking about Justin Fields in the Brock Purdy conversation, right? Where Brock Purdy was lighting the world on fire, but then things got a little bit tough for 3-4 games in a row, right? If you're talking about him in the Lamar Jackson conversation where you're getting the wins, he's playing well, but there's still things that you look at about his game. Like Joel said this, I want to say on Monday's episode, like everybody's always looking for the perfect quarterback here in Chicago. where every quarterback has their flaws, minus, right? Like some quarterbacks are just talented enough to overcome their flaws. Pat Mahomes is that guy, right? He holds the ball for 1,000,000 years and throws like a sidearm backflip underneath somebody's leg. It like does like an airplane takeoff and lands in the receiver's head. It's crazy stuff going on out there. But right, like, if over the next 7 weeks he proves that he's good enough to move forward with, that does not mean he's great. That does not mean he's elite. That just means good enough, right? Let's say, like what I said the other day, right? 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Over 7 games, that's okay. That's all right.
That's actually not good, dog.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, you got
over 7 games.
1,200 yards, yeah.
Which used to be nearly a half of a season back in the day. Nah, that's not good, my G.
I mean, listen, 7 games now. I mean, you talk about 1,200 yards over 7 would be what?
171 yards a game. That's the rookie numbers right there.
Well, I mean, what
that's
I'm
legitimately Brock Purdy's number.
Well, no,
I mean, not Brock Purdy,
right,
but
that's all passing though. So that's all your passing numbers. That doesn't take into account everything else he does, right? Whatever rushing touchdowns, whatever it is. I'm talking about strictly passing. Like, that's good enough.
Nah, I can't say that because Bagent put up nearly 904.
I mean, listen, Justin's put up over 200 yards a game.
I'm with you. Like, here's the thing. That may not be enough.
Here, 200 yards a game, 1,400 yards.
That made it okay. Let me say this because it's such a nuanced thing. It depends on how it looks. 100%. The game plan may not be for us to throw the ball a bunch. We may not have to. That's a good situation to be in, right? And I can't begrudge a QB or OC for calling a good game and our run game is clicking and stuff like that. He may not have to.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not going to put this. I don't want to put that label on him like he has to throw for this and stuff like that because sometimes the game just doesn't call for it, right? Steph Curry don't have to get 30 points every game. I use the basketball analogy one because I think some people just need.
He does it though.
Like, well, he does. Like he
does it though. He been. I mean, let's be real here. Steph's out here.
He ain't got no help. He ain't got no help. Hey, listen, get that boy smell. But I'm just saying, like,
fam,
Draymond.
Fam, what's going on, bro? What's happening, bro?
Hey, listen, they wrote that
major sidebar, bro. But what's going on with Draymond, bro?
He out of there, my boy.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, he might have to sit for a minute.
Yeah.
You choking a dude. UFC choked him out. He had nothing to do with it. Listen, I get it. Nobody likes Rudy. Nobody likes Rudy. I think this is confirmed at this point, right? Nobody likes Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, he did something.
Well, he shut the league down.
I mean, the league was going to get shut down eventually anyway.
No, but like he shut the league down because then everybody in his locker room got sick and the locker room they was playing got sick. And granted, the league didn't act quick enough at all on any of that. But they played a whole nother game and then other people start getting sick and it starts spreading. But like, hey, bro, the players was heated about that. You already know.
I know. I mean, listen, Donovan Mitchell was mad.
Fam, how he snatched that man up, that was legitimately
it has some stank on it.
That was pent up aggression, bro.
Yeah, some stank on it. I ain't gonna lie about that.
He had been wanting to choke that man's out for at least 10 years, bro. Since he came into the league, Rudy said something, and that man, but that was a crazy time, bro. Like,
yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to get this picture here. This is hilarious. I'm sorry. I got to put this on. I know we talking football right now. We gonna get some basketball in there too. But my God, bro, to this right here, bro. Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Hey, and the worst part is why Cat acted like he gonna do something and didn't do nothing in the fight, bro. Did you see the side angle pick?
No, it looked like he pretty much helping Draymond take him down.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I feel you on this one.
Hey, what did you do it, dog? Like,
I said we'd have been the greatest meme of all time because if that's my teammate, you choking out Rudy, I gotta just grab you, right? I gotta choke you out too.
Just because
it got to be a dual choke out. Whoever taps first is this whole conversation sound like a pause. We're gonna move on, but Where's Dwight Howard? But hey, man,
Wow.
I appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Listen, with Justin Fields coming back, Nate Davis also coming back. We got a lot of Chicago Bears that are going to be good to go. Terrell Smith also back in the mix as well. Do you like that they are moving Tevin Jenkins back to left guard? The question on this is basically this: what we saw on the right side is great. Tevin Jenkins, Darnell Wright on the right side together are great. They literally murder people when they run the ball to the right. Like it's evil. Like they create nemesises on the right side. But now, because Nate Davis is really only comfortable playing the right guard position, you're taking that and moving Tevin Jenkins back to left guard, where that's still good. And now more of your line is good. Tevin Jenkins is a good left guard. You got him helping Braxton Jones. Nate Davis is a good right guard, more so in pass block than run block. Darnell Wright has proven to be a really good right tackle out here, and Braxton is proven his salt as well. So your offensive line now is good, but you had something that, in my opinion, was great. Would you rather have the good or the great?
I'd rather have the great, simply because I want my QB to have the best opportunity and protection. I want the run game to be as efficient as possible so that he can have the best opportunity. Everything. I'm being very biased right now. I am solely focused on what is the best opportunity or situation for Justin, so we can thoroughly evaluate him.
Well, the good might be the best situation, because you got good almost everywhere. Your center position is still kind of bad. Lucas Patrick is not good.
So it's one of
you got good in 4 spots versus great in 2, bad, okay with Cody Whitehair at left guard, and good with Braxton Jones.
I mean, realistically, I got to see it. Nate Davis been out for a couple games. You got to see what it does and what it produces. This is almost unfair for everyone on that line, because I do believe Detroit's defensive line is pretty good. So it's like the ultimate test. And now you're flirting.
Got some dogs out there.
And now you're making some changes. You're flirting with like moving some people around. It is his natural position, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's not where he's been clicking. So, I mean, I don't know, and I can't speak because obviously I've never played that. But I don't know what is the word I'm looking for? The learning curve, not learning curve, or what's the time to really get back acclimated to that would be. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know what that is for Nate Davis. Maybe that is the best thing for Nate Davis.
And
I don't know what that is for Nate Davis.
Both.
I don't know what that is for Tevin to go back to left guard. I don't know what that looks like. But we'll see it. It's going to be clear.
And that's the thing, right? Tevin's done both. Tevin's been a left guard. He's been a right guard. He's been a right tackle. He's been a left at right tackle. Wasn't that pretty? Nate Davis has only been a right guard. So you're basically moving the guy that is comfortable having and has had success at left guard before. You're not experimenting there. And I'm going to be real with you. This is the politics of football. Welcome to the NFL, right? Nate Davis got paid $30 million. You're getting on that field.
Yeah, well,
I don't care what happens. I don't care who's you're getting $10 million a year. You got paid $30 million over the next 3 years. You're playing football. I will strap your ankle to the man next to you just to keep you upright. You're playing football. Honestly though, like that's really what it is. It's a podcast out there. I swear I don't know the name of it. But it's like 4 former NFL players. They're like linebackers and stuff like that. I don't know the name of the pod. It's a great podcast.
Are they all black?
They all black. It's the NFL. The odds of it. Come on now, dog. Like you really narrowed it down there. You said what?
The Raw Room.
The Raw Room, maybe. It's got old boy with the dreads.
Yeah, it's a Raw Room. They call
it. Great podcast, bro. I've
be cracking up over there.
Bro, I be rolling off of it. And it ended up popping up on my YouTube feed. Just when I was working and just rolling through stuff, and ended up popping up on my YouTube feed. And but what they said in there that basically, right, like the politics of football is real. Like it's not like if you got paid this money, you are going to be on that field, and they will let you ruin your career on that field because they paid you this money.
Yep.
Like I will absolutely make sure you never get another check, because I was fooled into giving you this money. So you get out there and play. And that's really what it is. Like that's so. Like, listen, Nate, and it's not to say that Nate Davis has been bad. He's missed time due to things that are unforeseeable occurrences, right? Like a family member passing away. Take the time you need, brother. You end up getting injured in the game. Okay, he's a full go today in practice. Let's get him back out there. Let's see what he looks like. But it's one of those things where you've missed this time. Now, do you still have that rapport? Do you still have that like? His success is tied to Justin's success. If that right side collapses, that's Aiden Hutchinson in your face. It's not a good day.
Jesus. And so now it begs the question. Well, it doesn't beg the question. You've already said it. He has to do it.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the field.
He's going to be on the field, 100%.
He's going to be on the field. Let's just hope it works out. And let's just hope that the adjustments can be made appropriately, and that Justin, if we do, because I'm still looking at the Lions. I really wish that he was able to play for that Panthers game. I really do. I think that one game learning curve, because I have a sneaky suspicion that this one game is going to be bad. I feel like this one game is going to be bad. He's going to pick it up in Minnesota, and we've played Detroit again. That's going to be better. That's just my feeling of it. Like I'm hoping he comes out there just. I mean, a stud, but like.
I guess if there's anything to hold your hat on, right? The best game you played is the last game. So like if he comes out and he plays poorly against the Panthers and struggles through it, and then he goes out and he dominates the Vikings, he goes out and comes back against the Lions and plays a good game, it finds a way to win it. That's 2 wins in a row. That's the best games you've played, right? And then you keep it going. Yeah. Then after that, bye week, Browns. Yeah, I mean, you get the bye week and then you get the Browns, and then after that, it's Cardinals in December and like games that should be winnable. Now with this team, I'm not gonna lie. I asked this question to J-Mac. What's the one thing that we want to see continue that we saw in the Bagent era from now? I'm watching Justin, but I swear I'm watching this system. I want to see if Luke Getsy can just continue to call the same game plan. I swear we sit there and we watch some of these games. It's just like, what's the why you like the Panthers game? Not granted, they took everything away from Bagent. They didn't trust him at all in that game. After the Saints game, they were like, we're not gonna let you ruin your career by losing this game.
Yeah.
So they took everything away from him, screen pass, short stuff. He still made some really nice plays. But bro, like there's so many games that we watch and I look at the system and I'm just like, why didn't you run? Like, I get it. The defense is gonna give you what you should do. But you can run the football versus this team. You can do this versus this team. You can do these things that work versus this team because they're the same thing as the last team you just played. Why can't you keep the system the same? And it just keeps feeling like I got to get them to work in my system, not I got to get my system to work for them.
No, I get where you're coming from. However, I also saw that system work with the rookie. I saw it work. We were at the game. It worked. Now it was the Raiders, but I mean, we also praised Justin for beating the Denver when they were the worst defense. So, I mean, I got to.
Well, he didn't beat them.
Well, yeah. So, but again, against that defense, we was clicking. He had all the yards and stuff like that. And that was, again, at that time, one of the worst defenses the league had ever seen. So if I'm giving Justin the praise, I got to give it to Bagent, even though it was the Raiders. Like, we saw it work.
We more so saw Deontay Foreman work, but he was throwing the ball well.
He was throwing the ball well.
In that game. I'm not going to take
5-yard passes.
But Deontay Foreman had 3 touchdowns and 125 yards that day.
Yeah, but we also saw him make some plays, throw the peel, make more than the 5-yard throws. A lot of the pundits like to sit there and throw out there. Like, no, he has several over 10. Like, let's just stop in that. But like, would that game have looked better with Justin? Maybe. I want it to be.
Yeah.
I've seen it work with the rookie. I saw where the rookie made some mistakes and got some picks. I want those same plays for Justin because I thought they were good plays. They were good situations.
Yeah.
That play where he threw that pick against the Saints, especially that last one. He has so much time in that pocket. I'm like, I want to see Justin with that much time. Give Justin that much time. Give him those same plays. And make that small window. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's where, when a lot of people looked at it, that's where Bagent's limitations stood out. That's one where that throw, Justin might be able to get that throw there because he's got a cannon. So if he's a little bit late, if you 10 yards away from me, I'm finna throw it through your chest for it to get to you. Tyson, I think in that moment was like, I'm late. Up is there. And it quickly wasn't. And that is the difference between having the D2 guy who's the game manager. And I love what he did in his time in the game, but having a D2 guy and having the guy who was taken in the first round. Like, those are the differences that I saw. Like, just don't
I saw
know.
a rookie, though. I mean, let's be real. He's had a lot of reps. That's a rookie mistake.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, it wasn't even a mistake. Like, the route was open. It just wasn't.
He got it to him late, and that's on him.
He got it to him
He has
too
to
late.
get better, stronger. He has to figure that out. Yeah, but Justin's already bigger. He's already stronger.
I don't know if I got any worries about Bagent getting stronger, bro. That boy dad out here, man. He got mammoth hands out here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, that's the thing. I think that Bagent is going to be better. Alive. I think that Bagent is going to be better. But Justin, year 3, again, it's not. I don't know why people do that. It is a rookie versus a 3-year vet. Like, he's rookie. He's in his 3rd year.
Yeah.
Right. You should see a difference. You should see a gap. It should be a separation. Justin's seen these things before. Bagent hasn't. Stuff like that. So it's not even a conversation. But the real conversation is, if Justin's in that same situation, is he going to be able to have more success? That's all I want. He could put up the same numbers. He can put up the same numbers as Bagent.
Yeah.
Does it look that did he make the throws that Bagent couldn't?
Well,
did he make the plays that Bagent couldn't? That's what I want to see.
The part for Justin I want to see is the decision making on his part for whatever his game is. Listen, Bagent's game is his arm, right? Like, no matter what Bagent's game is, he's gonna fall back on that arm. That's what his game is. If I'm late,
play to your strengths.
I'm putting my arm on the line because that's what my best asset is. For me with Justin, like, when there's 6 seconds that happen in the pocket, I'm sitting there and I'm just like, why are you standing there for 6 seconds? I'm not telling him to be the running quarterback he was last year, but there are times where it's like, hey, you get the 4 seconds, you need to go. Because whatever you're waiting for clearly hasn't developed. If you're waiting for something down the field 6 seconds, you know what I mean? And you can use the legs and keep the eyes downfield and kind of keep things, but you got to go because they're more worried about you running than they are about you throwing this football. Now, use the legs the way that very much in that Commanders game and in that Denver game, using your legs to your advantage, because the second that you start to be like, oh, I got to go. I got to make a break because nothing's down there. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden we see defenders start running in like, oh, snap, he's going to run. We all got to and then you just, boop, touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen that work for you. So I'm not even asking you to be Bagent in the aspect of no matter what, I'm standing in here and I'm using my arm. Use your legs. Use your legs to an advantage. Just do it in a timely fashion. The injury that you got is because you just stood in there.
The funny thing is that what the staff, this is where I question the staff, because we and you also saw a game where Bagent had like 80 yards rushing first half and stuff like that. Right? And then the second half, it was like he had room to run and he just didn't run. It was just like, did they tell him to stay in that pocket? Like,
yeah.
That's because, again, the first half he was doing it. First half he was clicking with it. Then the second half it was like, why he had space. He had a lot of space to run.
Well, and I think that's the thing too. It's just like you see the rollouts disappear. You see the thing, the Bears take away the thing. It was almost like they take it away from themselves.
So like seeing Justin, it's like you got to understand they're evaluating him as a quarterback. They're going to be so focused on seeing his arm talent, his accuracy, and all that stuff, and what he can do with his arm.
Yeah.
Is it going to be the same situation? That's the only thing I question. I'm like, please don't put him in that situation. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
And then I hope that he's just mentally tough enough to say, I'm here to win, or I got to make the best play. And this is helping my team with the best play. And he goes off and does what he did last season. So all in all, it just has to be cleaner. He has to play clean football. It has to be a little better. It has to be more than 1,200 yards. I'm sorry. It has to be more than 1,200 yards. but
I said 14 yards, 20 yards a game.
You know, give me something.
20 yards. He give you 75 yards rushing or 50 yards rushing.
Enough to say that's my quarterback and we shouldn't be drafting. Because if I'm still on the fence, I'm all for drafting the quarterback. Even if you keep him, I'm all for drafting the quarterback. I think it's only fair to the organization that, hey, you have this opportunity. Would it cause a QB competition? Probably, but that's your job to lose.
Yeah.
So,
hey man, we'll see what it ends up being. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Appreciate you guys for showing love as always. You want to jump into the Bulls real quick? You got to go, or what's your timeline?
Well, let's do it.
Let's jump into the Bulls real quick because it just keeps getting worse.
Yeah,
just keeps getting worse.
City, not even franchise.
Just keeps getting worse. I mean, my goodness, talk about your Chicago Bulls, Windy City here, boy. Zach Lavine, per sources, and I love when my favorite thing now is when the players call out the reporters who are sitting there telling you this is what's happening, and then they be like, Cap, did you see the dig with Bones Highland, where they told him you're out of the lineup now. You won't be in the lineup for the foreseeable future. He wrote, Cap. Now, listen, if Bones don't play over the next 20 games, we're going to be rolling. We're going to be rolling. Hey, and as a reporter, as Chris Haynes, you better put Cap right back. You better be Cap. Yeah, I mean, but I'm petty. Oh, don't embarrass me. Don't ever embarrass me, and then I'm right. You embarrass me and I'm right. I'm right back at your head, Cap. Yeah, I mean, stop playing with me. Checkmate, B. But but no, I think that we heard some interesting things when it came about Zach Lavine today when it came to the Bulls. According to Casey Johnson, he was on Mully and Hall today, talked about Zach Lavine has never gotten over, double never, by the way, never gotten over Billy Donovan benching him in the loss to the Orlando Magic on November 18th, 2022. Zach had 4 points. He was 1 for 14. Remember, he was playing god-awful. He's the worst player on the court by far. We also heard that there's always been a growing question among players and the Chicago Bulls coaching staff about Zach Lavine's accountability going back to last season. Now, I don't know if these reports are true. KC usually don't just throw stuff out there, but I will say this, and I said this last year on the show, and I think that, I mean, with everything going on, it's the same thing here. I had heard that Michael Reinsdorf was never enamored with Zach Lavine, was never a big believer that he could be the number one option, and that he just wanted to see more out of him. I think that these things all kind of go together hand in hand when you see what we've seen on the court. And it's not to say that I think Zach Lavine's going to be a bad player. I think he's good. I think you don't score 50 points as many times as he has, or 40 plus in the NBA, and you're not good at basketball. He's a good basketball player. But as far as the guy who's been the number one, if you're talking about things affecting you from 2022 on, a specific game, I remember exactly the game.
Oh, yeah, we remember.
He was the worst player on the court, offensively and defensively. And he was upset about getting benched. It was the one time in Billy Donovan's tenure as a Bulls head coach that I said, as the head coach, you did the right thing. And I mean, listen, I'm not surprised to hear these things. I don't know what that means moving forward long term, right? Of course, tonight is going to be interesting because no DeMar DeRozan going tonight versus the Magic. Zach Lavine will be playing tonight. Now, DeMar is supposed to be dealing with a family issue. Hope that all is well with DeMar. I'm not going to speculate anything on that. You see how that works, Chicago Bears? You see how he's dealing with a family issue? Oh, it's dead. I bet we're done. There's no question marks on it.
No question marks on it.
But outside of that, I mean, listen, what are your thoughts on the latest on the whole Zach Lavine situation here? And does that, I mean, when you start getting reports like this, that usually spells this guy's getting out of here pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty quick. And I don't think it's going to be till after December 15th, now that it's bubbling, because realistically, and this is my speculation, it very well may. And again, that's only 4 weeks away. So it's not like a terribly long time.
Right.
But what I will say is, again, where there's smoke, where there's fire. You look at the representation he has. Clutch Sports is really notorious for handling situations like this. Right?
He was in Kentucky last night. Can we talk about that?
Who?
Zach. Zach was in Kentucky at the game last night.
Oh, I mean, probably took a PJ.
They got a whole game tonight.
Probably took a PJ. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Hey, that's a rich person problem. I don't know.
Hey,
Like,
bro,
hey,
listen.
hey.
Oh, that's called. I don't give a rat's. You know what? No more. That's exactly what that is.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what that is. But
Hey,
they probably didn't practice, so
what? Let me see what that game was at.
they probably didn't practice. So more than likely, he was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna go check this out," and they probably had like they didn't practice. Pretty sure they didn't practice.
Kentucky versus Kansas. They were in Kentucky.
I mean, that's not that far though.
Hey, bro, you got a game tomorrow, bro.
Bro, that's like a.
So you going out
2-hour flight?
But you're going out. You taking a 2-hour flight to get there to Kentucky. You staying for the game. Game probably getting over with at what? 11 o'clock? 10 o'clock?
Fly back in the morning.
Nah, folks. Hey, you ain't Dennis. He ain't Dennis Rodman, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I mean,
he better drop 50 tonight. You was in Kentucky last night, bro.
Listen, I'm not tripping about it. I ain't tripping about it. I mean, but at the same time, you talking about the game and why he was there. We need to be asking who else was there.
I mean, his clutch was there. Rob was there.
I'm sure he was, but who else was there?
John Wall was there. I saw John Wall there.
Okay, where's John Wall going nowadays?
John Wall just going.
John Wall is an alumni. So.
Hey, John Wall just going to games.
I mean, he got paid like $100 million just to sit at home. Anyway,
yeah, he just going to games.
But all in all, just getting back to the topic at hand, like realistically, it's just time. I mean, we talked about this yesterday. We're critique. It's time. I hate that it ended this way or that it's ending this way.
Yeah, it's getting ugly. I don't like it.
It's not salvageable. Like Zach is going to be traded. At this point, Zach is going to be traded. It just is what it is. I don't think it's a salvageable situation. He's gotten his max, which is cool. He got paid. He got taken care of. He
finna get taken care of real good after that kicker kick in.
Yeah, I mean, you got from a monetary aspect, the Bulls didn't do him wrong in that regard. It just didn't work out. There were opportunities where I feel exactly what you're saying. He didn't take that leap. I also can make beg the question that you brought in somebody who took all those opportunities for him to actually do that. I would stand on that one. I don't believe, and it's like, hey, as a good teammate, he can't hate on him. He can't say, oh, well, let me do it. It's the man's closing the games out. Like he's definitively closing the games out. So it's like, what you want him to do? It is what it is. So, yeah, I can see. Like I said, I see him in a different jersey. I don't think it's gonna be long. I could definitely see him in Miami just because we can get shooters.
Miami's gonna be the interesting one.
Yeah, we could get shooters back that will actually allow us to still be competitive. People who are not threatening to, Tyler Hero would be a great addition to the Chicago Bulls for what we need.
Yeah,
and he comes with a defensive mindset or from a defensive pedigree. Now, I'm not saying he's a good defensive player, but he's better than a lot of people give him credit for.
He'll fit in with the mindset that AC and them have here.
There you go. And so, with all that being said, it's just time, man. It's just time. Anytime Zach's whole tone on that conversation is totally different than what it's been in the past.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's like, hey, my name is always brought up when you lose and it's frustrating. I think he said something that really put it in perspective, though. He's even they realize, and I don't know how you wouldn't be able to, but he's like, listen, when you do this, when you're losing like this, and when you've done this for 3 years, and you feel like you're in the same spot, of course you're gonna have issues with it. And I think that's the part that is just like, oh, so you realize that y'all been in the same spot for 3 years. Like, we're not faking this. Like, I thought it was just the fans that realized this.
No, they realize it.
So, they realize they just always, there's always the conversation around like, oh, well, we're just one for the Gipper and we're gonna do what we can. And then they go out on the field and it's just like, what the heck is that?
What is doing? One for the Gipper?
What is one for? It's an old. I think that's a old Notre Dame thing. I don't know. I think that's an old Notre Dame thing.
Gipper, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Old.
Right. Never say that.
I don't know. I don't know who the Gipper is. I don't know.
Okay.
Am I saying that
fish?
Am I saying it? Got to be right. I don't know. I know
All
I've
right,
heard
we'll never
this
say that
term
again.
all of my life. Somebody look this up. Somebody fact check this. What does that mean?
One for the Gipper.
One for the
All
Gipper.
right.
What is the Gipper?
What the heck is the Gipper?
By the way, little news as well. Alex Caruso is playing today per Billy Donovan. So there's that as well. Hey, man, we going to get up out of here. Shorter episode because we got to do this live call. Appreciate you guys tuning in and showing love. It's getting ugly around these Bulls. I'll tell you that right now. He's never forgotten what. Hey, I ain't going to lie. I got to say it, bro. And somebody that's mixed and has a lighter skin tone, that's some light skin stuff right there, bro.
I don't think that's real.
He's never forgotten.
I don't think that's what I'm gonna be honest with you. And this is the part of journalism that I absolutely I hope that we never fall into. Because even if it is, like, even if that is true, I feel like that's something being taken out of context. Zach played some of the best ball of his career in the second half, like after that happened.
Yeah, but I will say this. There always felt like tension between him and Billy. There's always felt like that.
But Billy it seems like his tension with Billy in half the team because he don't seem to know what he's doing. Like, I don't feel good. Do you feel good about him and DeMar when they talk?
I feel good about him and most of the veteran players that he's around because they usually leave speaking glowingly of him. Usually when you hear people talk about Billy Donovan, they talk about he's a great basketball mind and he's, you know, he knows what he's doing. And if you just run what he's trying to run. Now, I do think he's a college coach where a lot of times what you hear is if you run what he's trying to run, it works. That's not the NBA.
Pat Bev flip-flopped on him. When Pat Bev was trying to get that contract, of course, he was speaking glowingly. When he didn't get that contract, he didn't speak low of him, but it wasn't as praiseworthy.
He still speaks. I mean, the last thing I heard when Pat Bev talked about him was him basically saying that the Bulls was over here BSing. And he literally was like, if Billy Donovan giving y'all the answers. Like, I mean, like, and here's the thing. But again, right? That's what a college coach would do. As a college coach, I'm going to give you the play you need to run. If you run this set just like this is going to work. That works in college because you're going against other kids. That don't work when you going against LeBron James and he know what you running.
No, I believe it work. I believe it work on the NBA level.
Listen,
it's not being executed well. Now, here's the thing.
To a certain extent.
How is he preparing his team to execute that is the question.
I think the thing is, right, it works to a certain extent, but when you go up against certain players and certain teams where they have that one guy on it, right? Like when teams go up against Alex Caruso, Alex Caruso know exactly where everybody need to be on the floor to stop what Kevin Durant is doing. Kevin Durant's one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen in this game.
So you're saying he's not situationally aware?
I've always said that. But basically what I'm saying is, like, if I'm sitting there and I'm telling you run this set and they know the set, they know how to stop the set. Now, if you have a Kobe Bryant, a Kevin Durant, a LeBron James, sometimes it don't matter if I know how to stop the set. But if I have one of the best defenders in the NBA, a lot of times now it's just will on will. And so I think a lot of times Billy Donovan goes out there and he's like, let's run this. If we run this, it'll be successful. And that stuff may work until you go up against a Marcus Smart or a Rudy Gobert or whatever it is, guys that are really good defensively. And then you go, oh, why didn't that work? He just knew where to be.
And then but are your stars being your stars is also the question. So it's a dual thing. Like you run a particular set and then there's opportunity and space for your stars to be stars. And is Zach taking that leap? Is that something that DeMar's supposed to? It's a lot. Guess what? It's coming to an end. We're gonna get some answers soon. And whether we like what the solution is or not, there's gonna be a solution to this problem.
Hey, I thought about this the other day. I was like, what if they only move Zach?
They might only move Zach. You can't move both. That makes no sense to move both.
I think you can move both.
Why?
Because then you would go through an offense that has Vooch at the focal point of it, and I'm fine with that.
Or you could just have a nice two-man game where you don't have to worry about someone else taking 20-plus shots.
Yeah, but Vooch and DeMar occupy a lot of the same space as well. Vooch's best shot is a mid-range shot. They occupy a lot of the same space. If you were going to keep one of them to have it separate, you would rather have Zach and Vooch versus DeMar and Vooch. But I'd be fine with just Vooch, like, because I know what Vooch is going to get. And you're at that point, you're losing. Like, you're gonna lose. It's okay. Like, develop some young pieces. Let's see what we got. Unalot Bidham has been recalled to the Chicago Bulls. I got to say this man name right. I've said it wrong every time. Unalot Batim has been recalled to the Chicago Bulls from the Windy City Bulls, so he might be getting his first action tonight.
Hey, shout out to that, man.
With no DeMar DeRozan out there. We'll be live calling that game probably by the time this video ends up getting uploaded. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. For the pettiest man alive, it's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Peace.